What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, I won't regret it. I won't regret it. You won't regret it. And if you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back. And I do appreciate the support. You can tell it's January 1st. Guys, listen, I'm going to talk to you today about a crazy story out of St. Louis, Missouri. Shout out St. Louis. And it's a story of survival. A story of escape. Things could have got a lot worse than they were, reported in this story. And luckily, these two people pictured up here in this Ring doorbell camera escaped. What you're looking at, ladies and gentlemen, is a 35-year-old woman and a 10-year-old boy, which is her son, who were kidnapped, held against their will, and managed to escape from her crazy, deranged ex-boyfriend. Now, I want you to watch this video, look at the Ring doorbell footage, and look at the way they were acting and how desperate they were for help. And luckily, the house that they knocked on, a stranger's door, she responded and answered the call. So I commend her as well. Take a look at this and we'll come back. And there's something in this story that I want to really bring up that showed this whole thing was a recipe for disaster from the jump. Take a look.
At 10, a daring escape caught on video. A mother and her son running to their neighbor's home in the middle of the night. St. Louis police tell First Alert 4 the two were being held hostage by the mom's former boyfriend. This is First Alert 4 at 10. I'm Samantha Jones. That video from North City highlighting another instance of hidden violence in St. Louis. And tonight, our Melanie Johnson hears from the neighbor turned hero.
A knock on the door at 1 a.m. Thursday.
Can I get a police?
A woman rushes to this North City home in panic with her 10-year-old son while on the phone with 911.
Hurry up. Bend down.
She then moves them to the side of the porch to hide.
He was serious. He was trying to get them.
Marquita Lewis's doorbell camera showing the moments after police say this mother and young child were held against their will by an ex-boyfriend. Investigators say he hit her in front of the little boy.
I'm happy I woke up to save her and her child, because ain't no telling what he would have did.
You can hear her young son pleading with Marquita to let them in.
Please help us. Please help us. Please help us. Please help us. My ex-boyfriend, we just need to get out of sight.
If I didn't lock the door and we ran up the steps when we did, he would have came right in behind us.
A second video shows the suspect kicking the door.
It's hard to get away from dudes like that. Like she said, she got a restraining order on him. It's been a year now. He's still been messing with them the whole year.
St. Louis police are still searching for the woman's 21-year-old boyfriend. He's been charged with assault, kidnapping, and violating an order of protection. Folks who know the couple tell me he's capable of doing much worse.
Please stay away. Go as far as you can. Do not deal with him again because he's not playing. He's not playing. And I really do believe he'll do something to her.
Neighbors on Terry Street are thankful they were able to survive and escape with their lives.
That was nothing but God.
There's no words to explain that. I would have let him in too. I would have helped.
As domestic violence cases see an increase over the holidays, the community around this woman and organizations like Safe Connections want to put a stop to domestic violence so victims can find a way out.
Pay attention to the red flags, gaslighting, if that person is trying to control or isolate you, to pay attention to the different signs, different things that are happening with that individual.
It's scary. It's very scary. It's sad. And something need to be done about it.
Melanie Johnson, First Alert 4.
Hey guys, that's the story. And it's wild. It is. Now, under no circumstances does anybody deserve to have anything like that happen to them, especially with children that are involved. Because the psychological ramifications of what is experienced with the child or children in any situation like this can be astronomical and devastating to their growth. Now, I'm going to say something real quick before I get in this story. I did a little digging and I, paid attention to some of the stuff that was said, and I looked at a couple of articles. This woman was 35 years old. Her son was 10. The boyfriend was 21 years old. How many of you 35-year-old women out here would mess with a 21-year-old? I mean, love finds people at all different ages, but to me, that seems like it was a recipe for disaster. When I was 35 years old, I wouldn't deal with anybody that was 21 years old because I remember what it was to be 21, and with my experience and how far I came in life, they're going to go through things I don't want to go back to or revisit or have to, coach them through. Now, like I said, love finds people at all different levels. I don't know. Hey, he might have been the Mac. He might have been spitting honey from his mouth. You know what I mean? Dropping serious jewels on her. And she was like, hey, you know what? I get this young guy a chance. Either way, at one point he liked her. She liked him. But it has a devastating consequence sometimes. And this is it. She's lucky she got out of there. She's lucky. He hit her in front of a kid. I'm going to tell you something. Regardless if the guy is 21, 51, 81, this type of person right here is nothing but a terrorist. There are a lot of psychopathic, terroristic people out here, and they don't mean any good. And their only means to keep you or control you is through physical violence. I don't know if it has anything to do with their upbringing or just how they see the world. But either way, this guy was a menace to society, and he was a terror. Ain't no fixing that. I'd show him the flowers immediately. Immediately. This dude kidnapped this woman and her child. For what reason, I do not know. Beat her up in front of the boy. Then they I don't even know how they escaped, but they did, thank God. They're forced 1 something, 2 something in the morning, out there in the middle of the night, running the neighbors' houses in the dark, peeking around and looking crazy, trying to escape somebody that came to their house. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. I look at crimes and, I don't want to say, more of what the crime was, but I try to look at the cause more than I look at the effect, because the effect's always going to be messed up. Bro, you went to their house, had a restraining order against you. See, this is another thing, ladies. Gentlemen, too. The law is going to protect property and public interest to an extent. He'd been terrorizing them for a year. She had a thing in place. She had a restraining order in place. Still doing his thing. Don't care about the law. Don't care about nothing. He want to prove that he tough. I don't think she had brothers or a father that was, young enough to do something. I don't give a damn if I'm 90 years old. I've had a good life. I could leave now and be fulfilled. Any of that type of crap happened to my daughter? No. Ain't no, hey, let me talk to you. It's on sight. Man, you terrorizing not only my daughter, but my grandson? No. No. Where are we at as people, man? Where are we? I mean, 21 years old, barely a man himself, and he want to terrorize somebody for not wanting to be with him. And that's the thing. Why can't you just go away? Everybody you meet ain't going to be a match for you. And if you beating on them, they definitely ain't no match. I don't want nobody that I got to think about doing physical violence to make this thing work. That's one of the things that, as a man, we are in control of the relationship, whether it's going to be one or not. A woman has a right not to be with you. That don't mean you're a loser. It just means you might have lost right there, depending on if it was your fault or not. But I mean, either way, there are other women out there. Sometimes we need to self-reflect. Damn, I had this girl I liked and it didn't work out. What did I do wrong? That's the thing. Nobody reflects on self no more or takes accountability. Damn, I lost her. It's not that I lost her. She's going to lose everything if she gets rid of me. Don't understand it. We'll never understand it. ain't trying to understand it. We're human beings and we need to act accordingly with each other. One of the biggest disconnects we have as men and women, regardless of what color you are, and the biggest threat to the relationship, the existence of relationships and the fruitfulness of relationships now is the culture we in. Women expect men to think like women, and men expect women to think like they do. Impossible. Impossible. We have instinctive traits between both sexes that make us both special and both necessary. When you start to cross that, that's when we got problems today. We got a lot of problems. That's when the problems start. From a conventional wisdom standpoint, ma'am, no offense to you, and I'm happy you got out of that situation. You could have used better judgment when dealing with somebody 11 years older than your son. For real, because this is what can happen. You don't just get a boyfriend with your son, you get two sons. One of them just puts his dick in you. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. There are a lot of people out here. They gave you red flags. Pay attention to them. I don't want this to happen to anybody out there that watches my videos or doesn't watch my videos. We got a lot of healing to do to get this country back to where it should be. Respectful, respecting each other. The first step starts with ourselves. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.